Alright, let me turn down this audio just a hair. Okay. I just want to make sure that, I have a hockey game playing through my headphones right now. So, and it's in the background. I really need a second screen here for this, but, I kind of have the audio from my computer, like the game playing through the stream, but I have the hockey game playing through my headphones on the same computer, so I hope that everything's right. It seems like it is, so. So for tonight's stream, I thought I would conquer Lightning Peaks. Certainly, it is one of the tougher scenarios in terms of terrain and that, but I'm not doing anything else right now. The hockey game is not really to my liking per se. So um, Sabres aren't playing so well right now, but yeah, Lightning Peaks. I'm gonna get on that here. So I'll pause it real quick, do sort of the overview like I usually do. Hopefully the Wi-Fi works out okay because I do have the hockey game going and the stream going at the same time. It seems like it's doing okay for right now, so it shouldn't really be a problem. Then again, I am uploading the stream, but technically downloading the game that I'm watching at the same time. So Lightning Peaks, beautiful mountains of Lightning Peaks are popular with walkers and sightseers, use the available land to attract a new thrill-seeking clientele. 900 guests in 3 years, park rating of at least 600. In terms of land, it is a pretty large, sizable area out here. There is this slender plot of land up here, but of course, this is really unusable. There is a chairlift ride that takes guests from the bottom of the hill to the top, and there are elevated walkways as well. There is a second chairlift that sort of goes across the lake to this pathway over here, but there's a couple of dead ends certainly in the scenario, so that's going to be something that I look to solve right away. In terms of the loan, you can only take 15,000 out, so this will be one of the tougher scenarios in terms of money, and it is probably the toughest scenario, except for something like, I mean, Mothball Mountain isn't as hilly. It's a lot smaller, of course, but this is probably the most hilly scenario that you have to deal with. Um, so, two existing sky rides or chairlifts, they can charge per person just because there is a pathway, a free pathway to use as well. I'm going to go ahead and charge 250 for this one. And I actually think I'm going to remove this one. It is sort of a trap in a way. Um, it has a higher operating cost. Certainly, it will not be as used as much as the first chairlift, and it's really just taking up a little bit of space here that I would rather use for something else. So I think that I'm going to remove that right away. In terms of rides, already in the bank, sort of right here, there are a few general rides that I may be interested to use. A decent collection of coasters. You already have the wooden coaster, looping coaster, so pretty much kind of everything you need to start. Only one flat thrill ride, being the Scrambler. I may look to research those. No water rides, and you have everything but the information kiosks. So I'm gonna set this up so that I'm only researching the shops and stalls to begin with, and then I'll probably move right into thrill rides. Um, already went over money. You have 74 guests in the park already, but there really isn't anything to do. So definitely, I'm gonna look to right away. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna remove this chairlift, get some money out of it, remove the pathways. That will open up some room and gain some money as well. So that can stay there for now. I really don't want to create as many dead ends, but removing this does give me a bit more flexibility. Okay. This is pretty much a dead end up here, unfortunately. I am probably going to look to bridge these two sections of land here. And as for this up here, there really is no purpose for this. It is one of the very few bits of flat land in this scenario. So I'm just going to sort of trash this for right now. I'll keep it to there because I may want to put a flat ride on this little peak right here. Yeah, guests will get very fatigued in this scenario pretty quickly. As for the shops and stalls, I will need at least one bathroom. Right there seems like a decent place for it. And then food and drinks, just to keep the people that are already in the park sort of in the park. There really is not a good space to put anything in this scenario. That is how hilly and terrainy it is. So, I mean, maybe fries can go there, and I'll do drinks right next to it. I will have to bump this down just a tad though. $2 for drinks, and open that up. Yeah, this scenario really is not optimized at all for flat building. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my first ride here, being the Scrambler. Man, it just kills you wherever you build, and land working is going to be certainly expensive in this scenario. I only need to get it a little bit though. I mean, I guess that's sort of okay, I think. It's only going to get tougher in the next one with, not the next one, but the one after that, Rainbow Valley, because you cannot remove any trees. At least in this scenario, you can remove trees. So I'm just going to get this ride up and operating right here. It is sort of a dead end, but it is what it is. I'll call it Rainmaker, considering it is sort of a rainy scenario, and maybe give it a sort of a thunderstorm type of color scheme. This ride should get about $2, 250, and just below 250. So I'll charge two for it, and I'll give it some music. The merry-go-round also is available. Um, as to where I'm gonna put it, yeah, paths. I have to come to the not to the agreement, but I have to basically admit that the pads are not going to look nice in this scenario, no matter how I try them. But I will probably add some no entry signs just so that guests won't get lost. So, like for this right here, these are two exit pads. I could put in one of these, no entry signs right there so that guests will not go up there. Oh, shoot, and I don't think that there's any staff. There's one mechanic, so I'll add another one and I'll add a few handymen to start. Generally not the best practice either to have a large path system open when there's nothing to do in the back area of the park, but that is going to change very quickly. Now, how do I want to possibly... Man, this is going to be tough. I'm going to have to edit some more land here. To build, the queue line isn't going to go all the way down to the midway, per se, but there is going to have to be a connection point here. if I... Man. This scenario is always a pain. Already wasting a lot of money just in like terraforming costs as well. This is gonna have to come down more. Yeah, this was a bad idea to build the carousel here. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first scenario that, like, I don't want to say gives me trouble in the sense that, like, oh, I'm going to have, you know, too hard of a time of completing it. But it's just going to be... Yeah. It's going to go down again. In fact, I'm just going to flatten a lot of this land right now. Just because I know what an issue this is going to cause. And now I can switch to this type. Okay. So all that time wasted just to insert a merry-go-round. I better get at least... won't even get $1.50 out of it. Okay. I think it's time now to start building a coaster. I mean, this is insanity right here. This pathway. And I didn't even put any bins in yet. The bins can all go on the like elevated walkways. Look at this gigantic pathway right here. Just populate them in. Okay, good enough for now. 112 guests. I think it's definitely time for a coaster, and it's going to be a shuttle loop because I want something that's an easy in, easy out sort of addition. And it's probably going to have to go into this side of the park just because there isn't really anything over here yet. This will require me to modify the lands, so that's okay. Rangers. Okay. And how this guy works. And he pays. And right here, you're gonna get... That won't work because I have to put the exit path in as well, so bring it back around this way. This one. I probably even have the information. I'm probably wasting time here. Yep. Guests should be able to buy their maps and stuff. Put it in there. Okay. This can start testing. I'll call it lightning rod. The colors are okay the way it is. I forgot to enable, or disable, I should say, the brakes failure. 450. Okay, now we're rolling. I don't know why both mechanics are over here. But what I'm going to do is loop this path around. That, of course, is going to require me to modify the land. Just about out of money, too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Oh, I only had 5,000 to start. I'm going to advertise this ride. This doesn't have to be called Skyride 1 anymore. That's open, right? Yeah. There's a restroom up there, so it may be a good idea to build one in the back of the park as well. And I'll charge, I guess, 10 cents for them. I don't have much going in the park right now, so offset their costs. Maybe I'll put in an information kiosk back here, because so guests can buy maps and umbrellas if they didn't buy one at the front of the park. And I'll hold off on another stall or anything for the time being. I'm more interested in building coasters right now and getting this park on its sort of first legs. I'm also going to bridge this pathway over, just so that everything is connected in the park. So, 95 feet, that's actually upwards. This is not going to look very good at all, but it's fine. There we go. This can be modified as needed. I'm going to end up filling rides and probably, you know, a lot of coasters and stuff in the center of this, but it's fine for now. It will just prevent guests from getting lost and such things. Okay. And I think it's time to start thinking again about like another coaster here or something, because I'm waiting for balloon stall. It's not unuseful in any way, but I was really hoping to get another thrill ride there. So there's, you know, a ton of space in the center of the park here. Really not much space to build anything along this pathway at all. Could build something cheap like a mini coaster or a junior coaster. Just trying to see a good place to start it out. There is virtually no flat land in this park. That is not even an exaggeration. Like, I could have a junior coaster start here though and go inside of this hill. That would be fairly cheap and easy to do. The path was at 105. I don't know what this is at. Okay, perfect. That's at 105 too. I'm probably going to get a lot of... Yeah, that won't work. I want to take this as high as I possibly can. Well, I'm going to be going down quite a bit. Oh, what did I do? we go. Running out of money, but I can take more of the loan out.
Plays are brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15 on car. Now Dylan back
Really?
in the lineup here. Making things happen.
That wasn't far enough down?
That's why you see him in the lineup each and every night.
Raise or lower land first. I guess it does slope down there. So it'll let me do a wide turn. It's got to come back up at some point. I can just keep going down with this thing is the funny thing. I don't want to go down too far though. Out of money. So I'll raise the loan as far as I can. And this coaster is going to be a fairly simple coaster. Very intense, that will be for sure. But I have no idea how this is going to perform. Yeah, this isn't going to look too good. Gonna have to build a lift hill because I just don't know how it's gonna do. Then maybe just have it dip down here. What did I do? I wanted to do that. Man, this land is very tough to work with in this scenario. I will say that. How is Junior Coaster 1 in the way? Yeah, this is not one of my favorite scenarios to play at all. I know I'm just wasting money too by knocking down all this land, but it is what it is. What happened? Okay. So block brakes, brakes. I can just get this around somehow. Did I run out of money completely? Yes, I did. Is there anything else I can remove in this park possibly to make some money? Like, I don't need this. I know that those little monuments are supposed to signify the peaks of Lightning Peaks, but We need money. There's a potential that I could connect it around here. I shouldn't have wasted so much on that. Shouldn't have wasted so much, I'm saying, on this land work right here. This very terrible land work. I should be able to, theoretically. Oh, let me do this. I want to make sure that this matches up at the end. I can always rebuild the lift hill in as needed. And that should connect. What's this one? Not enough cash. Well, I'll remove another piece of this left hill. Just cash. Come on. This park really isn't making much money at all because there's so little attractions, but this one will help. Halfway through year one, though, a third of the way to the goal. That's certainly a good place to be at. I just want to be able to finish this off here. There we go. And start testing it out, making sure that it... I don't need this. If I'm going to remove 3 of the 4, I might as well remove 4 of the 4 of those little monuments. Come on, somebody buy something or something. This is going to help. One more piece. That's all I need. And I can test it. That's right. Get in line for the shuttle loop. Need money. It's like the only ride in the park that's making money so far. Okay. So I'm definitely going to have to monitor this coaster and see what's going on with... It's going to pick up some speed and it's going to cook. And this is a problematic area over here too I can foresee happening. This thing's going to pick up a ton of speed. Yeah. It may even pull too high of forces. Huh? Jeez. I should have built it a different design. Okay, well, it makes it around okay. And it's just going to be this return run back to the station. I'm really hoping that the forces are not too crazy, though. Well, is it going to make it up? Nope. So this coaster is going to need 3 lift hills. I might as well use 3 trains here. I don't see why not at this point. Get the maximum amount of revenue out of this one, costing so much money and causing so much stress to finish building. Not enough cash even to build the pathway. What is this? Somebody buy something, please. $27 to build a path. Once this ride opens, though, it should, what a convoluted, crazy design. I don't know if I'm just tired or what I'm thinking with this park. It's not doing bad, that's for sure, but it's, not really making money yet. The forces are all okay. It reaches a top speed of 60 miles an hour for a family coaster. It does have the log trains, so I'm going to use those. I'll call it the Lumberjack and wait for the test results. Start thinking about the next ride I want to build. I kind of want to build something in this area over here. Um, Pirate ship is available, so if I have the money, I don't, so I'm going to have to hold off. I just want this thing to finish testing. God's sake. Have you finished yet? $5 is not bad. Okay. This should be good on Handyman for right now, but now a couple of coasters are open, so that'll help with revenue. I didn't use up too much land. This thing is still mostly underground. And as soon as I get the money, the swinging ship will go in. I have a 3D cinema as well. $413. Okay. I got it in right before the monthly stuff went through. I swear though, if anything is like not profiting right now, I should really think about getting rid of it. So that is, those aren't yet, but the restrooms are needed. All the rides are as of this moment. Where was I? I was over here. And now over here, I'm going to have to contend with more land. What else is new? Not enough cash. What's going on over here? Oh, I think I'm curved one. Let's see. That would have made life easier to toggle that on to begin with. Don't know what I'm thinking though today. So start testing this one out. Call it like Buccaneer. Get it open. Should be at about halfway through the goal by the end of the first year, which isn't bad. This coaster certainly makes good money. This one should be, yeah. Very weird ending to it, but I mean, it is what it is, kind of. It works for all intents and purposes in this scenario. I don't know how. Yeah. Yeah, this thing moves very slow. Oh, I can speed it up quite a bit. 14-minute queue line. That is a lot. Hopefully speeding this up will decrease the queue time quite a bit. Might even add a little bit of excitement to it.
Just trying to get a couple guys.
You had a little generate.
I think
Okay.
we're creating chances for us that pucks in
Let's see here. I want to get like 250 out of it still, but it had quite a big excitement rating for what it was. 264, so that'll still get 250 with a shorter cycle. Only got $2 out of that, so I'll decrease that cycle. Same thing with this one. Typically I would use longer cycles, but since the excitement ratings, I'm not getting as much out of the rides as I possibly could. I'm going to lower them to the point where, let's see, this way they just cycle quicker, get more people on and off. Yeah. Build another ride somewhere. Like, this is a flat piece of land. I could build a 3D cinema up here. Potentially. Pads are going to have to be a little bit creative, but... Is that too low? No, can't be. Alright, that makes more sense. It's just so hard to see with the orthogonal view in this game sometimes with the pads. There we go. So I'll get like $3 to start out of the 3D cinema. It's gonna help though, bringing money back. Queue time on this hopefully is, yeah, I don't think it's decreasing all that much, so. Okay. So in terms of the next like coaster or big ride, there is a lot of land to use in the middle of the park still. I could virtually go with anything, but money is a serious issue at this point. Nearing the end of year one, the loan is completely gone through, but I am halfway to the guest goal, so that isn't too worrisome. It's just going to be more let's see. Guessing I could probably get rid of a couple of these handymen here, or one of them, but it's not really a good idea. Maybe I'll do normal funding for research, save more money at the end of the month. What's the loan interest in this park? 1% per year. I spent way too much money building this coaster. I mean, it was kind of necessary to bring more people in the park and have another ride that gets money, but with landscaping and all that considered, I may have built it a bit too big and spent too much on it. Should have somewhat decent capacity though. Yeah, it does. So it'll make money back pretty quick. Park rating is doing okay. Yeah, I virtually could build anything except money is an issue. It's probably going to have to be one of the smaller, shuttle loop type designs where it'll bring in profit quick, but it's not going to break the bank to build. I think that's totally the key with this next one here. Launch pre-fall once I get a little bit of money is another one of those easy on, easy off type of rides. What the problem is here. Yeah, just people want to go on more thrilling things. Time for this. 15 minutes? You've got to be kidding me. That cannot be right. That can be not right at all because I shortened the queue by half. I'll just have to give it some time and see how it does. People do consider this one a rain ride though, which is good. Or a covered ride because over half of it is inside of the mountain. Don't know if I want to use go-karts in this scenario. I do want to start thinking about another coaster though, so I have the wooden coaster, the mine train coaster. Not really feeling suspended. Swinging coaster. Wooden will be cheaper to build and it will have the highest excitement rating. The mini coaster is also cheap, but I don't know if it's something I want to build right now per se. I could build another shuttle looping coaster somewhere in the park. A wooden coaster may do better though in terms of bringing people in.
Impressive how he used his body. He hasn't even called yet. Oh, and before not too long, out and body even better than he now. But what I love, confidence as frame, back the buck and make more instead of just getting rid of it, giving it back to the
So probably going to cut funding for now, save $400 per month. There are a couple of designs that I can still build here. Oh, and there are a couple of these gentle ride designs that I didn't even think about that may be a good thing to install. The next ride though is going to be a wooden coaster, I'm feeling. There's something very small, maybe a canned design that's not going to break the bank. I'm in there for like, is it 3,000 or was I seeing things? I don't know, maybe I was seeing things. Whatever I pick though, it's not going to come cheap, that's for sure. It's like 5,000. I may just do a pre-built design to try and look how tall I can build it. That would be funny.
mentioned, like the quarantine on the rest of the last few months, and all things has to overcome and listen. Back in the columns.
Build it like right about here too. I just don't have the money at all. It may be time to go for another shuttle loop-esque design. That may be what I have to do here, because it's gonna still attract, you know, the same amount of people no matter what I end up building. Something like that, or I could build it. I do have an idea for it. And it's going to involve actually it would be best to build it starting this way. Let's see now. I was thinking something like either a transport-esque roller coaster, so something where like you get on here, there's a station over here, sort of like a monorail design, but having sort of second thoughts about it. Gotta go. No, that's not gonna work.
For Western New York dealers, check out their all-new lineup of SUVs. The local
I could try to do something like
everything.
a very
Seneca
shuttle, or not shuttle loop, but a reverse freefall coaster type design.
Snap a three-game losing streak behind trailing after two. Ryder past Hutton. A 3-1 rate 9:30 mark. But Buffalo, well, this out of
Don't know if that's going to be high enough, so I'll start it here. See if that works. I'm sure it's going to end up going over the edge some way, somehow. Oh, I don't even know if that's going to work though, because the problem is these boosters are going to interfere. You know, what I may end up doing here is, I don't know how tall that was.
See professional analytics through. We will see next on the Lexus and Razor. Third period replays are presented by
something like that, like a Wicked Twister-esque type of coaster. All right, test it out. So it's gonna have the passing station, maybe like 4 circuits, launch speed. I want it to go over the edge. Okay, that's, yeah, no. 56 miles an hour may be good enough for this one. Because end of year one, 500 guests. Fix that I destroyed. Should only go around 4 times. And I want it to go a little bit higher than that. One, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if it was going through more because I was messing with the settings or not. So 2 circuits, it should go up and down 4 times, say. I'll do 3 circuits, it should go up and down 6 times. Bolt. Give it maybe a blue color scheme. No, not the supports. Supports can be orange or a yellow. I don't know what the reason is why it's not getting as much. I'm going to look up the stat requirements really quick. So the looping coaster needs 32 foot, has 6 drops, it only needs 2. Highest drop height of 32 feet, it has more than that. Next negative G's would be 0.10. So that is what is holding it up from having higher intensity ratings. So I'm gonna have to close this. Yeah, no, I definitely wanted to. I'm gonna have to disable the support limits just for this one. I just want it to fit in well enough. And now it should be good. I'm wasting a lot of time building this coaster, but okay, that's reasonable. 548. This can open. Really don't have much money, but I will advertise it for 6 weeks. Should definitely help though with bringing some more revenue into this park. Launched free fall, maybe a good thing to build. Somewhere, that is. And I could try, you know, building it. Let's see if this will work. It would be beneficial to build inside of the hill somewhere so that it can shoot out, not take up room on top of the hill, but that's very tough to do in ways. Hmm. Yeah, it's just I had this problem in Pacific Pyramids as well with trying to like countersink the drop tower. I could just build it in somewhere else and like say, you know, cut my losses with this one and could build it somewhere down here. Build it up 150 feet. And just find a way to get the pathway in here. Because any way I do it, I'm going to have to start modifying major land. Okay, that works well enough. Name will be tree topper. There are 2 spaces in there, or just 1. Alright. Upwards launch. I think 47 is the one to go with for this. $381, so we'll get $350 per ride. I do apologize if I'm a little monotone today, or oh, and wonderful, I dropped a bunch of frames as well at some point. Everything should be working though, as of right now. 8-minute queue time. It has improved. So year 2, I'm just about rounding the corner of 600 guests, so I'm nearly 2/3 of the way to the goal, with 1/3 of the scenario played. How's this doing? Okay, as of right now, it's doing okay, but it's very popular, so wish I could have gotten 550 out of it, but that is fine. I should probably start back up research because I'll need it. And the thrill rides, posters for now. Why aren't people going on this? Yes, they are. Oh, shoot. just watching the Sabres playing, and one of their young rookies for this season, Dylan Cousins, who's only, I think that he's 20 years old, just got in a fight, and he did good. He's not a big guy, but he threw some good rights. I'm impressed. I feel like today my streaming quality hasn't been as good. Not quality as in like I did just drop some frames, but more or less me, because I've gone through a bunch of different moods already today. I'm in a decent, or a pretty good mood right now, but all right. Once the money comes in, I'm gonna think about already adding another coaster, or if I get another thrill ride variety, that may also go in as a supplemental ride. But I've already got 3 attractions in here, and I'm growing above 600 guests. Money was a worry for a while, and it looks like I'm gonna hover right over 600 at the time being. Um, Another shuttle style steel coaster was a good decision in terms of both the low cost of putting it in and the revenue that it can generate. Because guests don't really care what the coasters look like, whether it's a steel, as long as it meets the stat requirements. It doesn't matter if it's a steel coaster that goes up and down, or in a circle, or if it's really small or really big. All the rides have the same basically amount of pull. As many guests will come to the park to ride it to say, "Oh, there's a new big steel coaster there." Whether it's something large and custom, or if it's a shuttle loop, and this one has no inversions and it's just a couple of hills back and forth. So make sure everything is profiting. So the restrooms now, both info kiosks are making money, the stalls are making money, the restrooms aren't costing as much as they could. So it's kind of like I have 2 restrooms, and I'm only really paying for one, sort of, or half of what one would usually cost. And all the rides are making good money. The merry-go-round kind of isn't. The 3D cinema has a long cycle time, so it isn't making as much, but they're all making money so far. $4 grand in the bank. That one wooden coaster design, that smaller one, cost. And this one costs 5. What's this? Not important. Double dueling wooden coaster. There was one for about 5 grand. I don't remember what the name of it. It was this one. It's gonna cost more though, however I do it, because this is gonna cost about 8 grand. So that's about double what I have right now. It would have been nice to put sort of back here, but I used up the room for the wood coaster. Let's see. Right about here would be the best place to put it, unless I can fit it in. It might be cheap over here as well. The main cost is going to be the support structure. In fact, I think I'm going to do it over here because, not much else would be able to go over there. But this is all going to depend right now on, making the money. Where am I? I'm still early in year 2, but this should push it closer to 900 people in the park. But not only that, it saves the center area for something larger once I have the money. And winning an award just now will also help the park guest count. Hmm. Yeah, this will be a decent design to put in once I have the money for it. I forget what the excitement rating for it is, but I want to say it's at least like a 5 or so, you know. And I need 8269 just to work. Unless I can 8250. 8436. Looks like 8250 will be the cheapest that I get. There was an 8 over here somewhere. Yeah, it was 8.5. Oh, there was just one. Maybe I'm seeing 9.2 and thinking. 8250 is what I'm gonna be able to do from this, and it's U4078. So in case I click out of this for some reason, I need a couple of grand. I'm approaching the middle of year 2, still an early year 2, but approaching the middle of it. This will be costly, but again, once it's in, it will be a good attraction that makes money, and a wooden coaster, which is something I wanted to put in here. So I'll have a couple of custom built coasters, a couple of kind of cans designs. God, I still need a couple of grand. Any suspended coaster, not something I'm interested in building. Park rating is doing okay, but it's raining now, so less and less people are riding things. To me, this over here kind of looks super bad, but almost kind of cool at the same time. Like it's like a little bit rocky. I think it's so random that it actually looks okay in a way, but certainly I made a mess of this junior coaster. This is the reason why I'm in a lot of financial trouble in this park right now, is this ride alone. I want to do normal funding for that, just so I save a little bit of money. And then it'll, the strategy will turn into, once I get the wooden coaster in and set up, advertise that, pull in as many people from it as possible, and then see what the money situation is. I'm sure that any custom wooden coaster design that I would build at this point in the game would cost just as much, if not more, than that small pre-built one would cost, and it fits somewhere, which is nice. I won't have to worry about, a ton of clearance checks or anything. Alright, so closing in on that 8250 that I need. Where was that design? It was U4078, I believe. $82.50 there. If I flip it the other way, does it get any cheaper at all? $82.48 somewhere. $82.24. That is the cheapest. So I'm going to keep my cursor right there and wait for the money to come along. I'm closing in on 700 guests now, towards the goal of 900. So this coaster may be the one that sort of pushes it over the edge with advertising. Of course, I'm going to add another one in here. Not one of my favorite parts to work on either, so this probably won't be one that I revisit in the future, but it has the potential to be cool, but there's just so much land work that it always ends up messy. Okay. Come on, right before it rains. Make the money. I need 8224. As soon as I see it, I'm clicking. Oh, now things are stagnating. Oh no. The path and stuff, I can hold off on money. Okay, so now it's in. Okay. Let's see now. And I'll cut this halfway just to put in some breaks here. Alright, now it's going to turn into building the paths and making this look somewhat presentable. I can start testing it while I wait. So building the paths in here is definitely going to be a struggle. I'm going to need to do invisible supports for this one. Yep. This is going to be a pain. How is it in the way there? That would be why. I'm gonna try something a little bit different there. Right there. Okay. So if I put on height markers on path, it needs to be approximately 95 feet. 90 feet. Needs to come back this way one. Okay, so that works right there to get to the wooden coaster. Now I just need to figure out the queue line, which shouldn't be as hard, I'm hoping. Yeah, it's going to need more than that. Once I build it around on this side, maybe just easier to do this way. Okay. What am I doing? Michael comes down. Tobias Reader. Chip down to the corner. 5, 6. Fighting for it. All the opponent and slipped it down about territory. That's a hit. Right pole. Up there. Puck is batted. Buffalo. I could go one more here, and back inwards, that it'll work. Yeah, well, no, now it's not going to let me because Let's see. This is going to be a really long queue line. I'll monitor it, see how it does. I can always add path in and, you know, cut the queue line shorter depending on what I need exactly. As long as this thing opens up, though. Call it Ridge Runner. Give it a wooden entrance. Should be like a yellow or a orange. It will have an on-ride photo. It's good. And it should get like $4.50, $5 if I'm not mistaken, so. And I will monitor the queue length and such things just to make sure it doesn't get too long. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with any more of the settings. I need this thing to open now. Add another handyman, a mechanic as well. $581, so $550 for admission. All right, and that one is open. It's just going to be the name of the game of making sure that the queue line doesn't get too long. If it does, I'll just boardwalk it over a little bit, add some normal path there. No big deal. Nobody's getting lost. I should be able to take out an advertising campaign. There we go. Man, that thing's getting busy quick. Or it looks like it. It is higher capacity though, too. That thing's going to make its money back in almost no time. And I need one of these handymen right about here. Let's see. One over there. Seems to be some litter in that area. Everything else looks good for now. That one area is really just a problem zone, it looks like. Very small, you know, small size compact wooden coaster, more of like the old school junior wooden coaster designs, but it is a huge money maker. Should also disable that. I probably shouldn't have been able to build that coaster there, but I forgot I had it enabled because of this ride, getting that last piece of track, and I only hacked it for the reason being, people already aren't riding this. Ride at $2.50, or will it have to be $2? It'll probably have to be $2 at this point for people to go on it. Yeah. Who riding this, or really good value? Okay. Long queue time for the merry-go-round. Sky Ride is cut down from what it was. How much money is this making? 2,700 per hour. That's pretty good for a chairlift ride. Yeah. 3-minute queue time, okay. Headphones on real quick. I want to hear this hockey game, the ending of it. Alright, end of that game. So, get back to this. I figured I'd just build a small Ferris wheel. I forgot how many gentle rides I kind of had stocked up. I haven't been building any of them. Ferris wheel can fit in right there. Doesn't need a special name or anything. It should get about $1, hopefully, but if it's a little short, no, it gets $1. So I'll open this one up. As is, gives something for more people to do in the park, especially considering I don't have many gentle rides. That should be fixed because people are riding it again at $2 a pop. This Sky Ride 6-minute queue time, so not doing too bad. Park rating's doing good. Money is coming back now more steadily. Almost 800 guests in the park, hovering at 777. Halfway through year 2, so that's a good place to be at. This large center area is going to be a good place to put a bigger scale coaster, but it's going to have to be one that has larger support limits and such things. And it will cost a lot of money, obviously, but that may be the one that helps push the scenario over the edge. Wooden Wild Mouse is going to be developed. That may be another nice compact one to put in here or something, help things out for the scenario. So I built, what did I say? I built 2 custom ones, 2 pre-built designs. If there is a pre-built design that's smart for me to use, I'm going to use it, but typically I would use more of the interior of the mountain, like I did with Lumberjack over here, more of this inside, but money kind of ran into a problem, and this isn't one of my more favorite scenarios, so I'm looking to get through it. Halfway through it now, just under 800 guests, and I need 903 years to pass this one. yeah, I had about this much money. What other designs do I have in here? Already built, a couple of the looping coasters. The wooden wild mouse is now available. And mine trains do I have. A lot of these ones are more expensive, that's for sure. Runaway mine train from Great Adventure. I mean, it fits in this park. It's very large, though, that's for sure, and it would be way too much money. I'm just looking for jokes. As a joke, how it would. How much does it cost? $18,000 too for this ride. Wow, it would fit though. Even with support limits. Yeah, there aren't really any good pre-built mine train coasters. I'm gonna stick with a wooden wild mouse. Used mini miner last game, but it is a good design to use. If I can get it even to fit in anywhere here, that's another question. Because of with the support limits and that, would it even fit down there? Yeah, it would fit at the very bottom down there, but that's not really feasible. It would fit in there too. Yes, it would. I forgot, it gets funky when you have pre-built designs. It won't let you raise it off the ground at all. I don't even know how that one fit in there before. Get around here. Yeah, but then the problem is it gets so low that the pathway would either have to dip down really low, or I'd have to come up with some other creative solution for that. Is it back here at all? Ooh. Yeah, but then the station is pushed right up against the edge of the land. Yeah, that just may not be a good design. I could do something small like cheesy mice, which I have used a couple times before. That won't even fit. Nuts. This scenario definitely is difficult with the land. I could fit cheesy mice in there. I'm gonna go for something else. There's a spinning wild mouse. Oh. Yeah, that would fit in a lot of places here, actually. That wouldn't be a good fit for it, but... Let's see. I'm kind of wasting a lot of time here with this. I'm gonna find one that works relatively quickly here. Could do something like this. If it would fit somewhere. Don't know how I feel about building it way down there. Not like a looping coaster. Are there any more? Fizzly's a classic one. Fizzly's always a classic. There was that one hedgehog that didn't cost too much. Or something like Stingray would fit in a lot of places here. I just don't want the path to be way high up in the air either. Select a different design. Just looking for a good one here. I mean, I don't want to build like another shuttle loop like these two are. Like that, that's way too similar to what I already have. And it would work, but just from a realism perspective, I think it's pushing it even with the two I have already. It's nuts. I mean, Hedgehog would be a nice one if it would fit in. I do particularly like this design quite a bit. Where's the... So it would have to go like that. Thing's way up in the air. Ah, that fits perfectly there, and the path is right. Wow. Well, it was meant to be. If that's how that's going to work out right there, the path being right flush up to the surface didn't cost everything. It cost a lot of money, of course, but I'll take it. Test it out and get this thing open. I really could go for big custom designs for this map, but, first and foremost, this is me having fun playing this game. This isn't one of my more favorite scenarios, that is for sure. But it's also kind of a tutorial in a way for people also playing this. I mean, I'm doing just fine 2 years into the scenario. And pre-built designs, a lot of players do like using very small or pre-built designs to make the most of their parks. So I'm really not too concerned about how the parks really... I am concerned about how the parks look, but I know once I pass this scenario, I will not be revisiting this one and, modifying it later on, because I'm just not really a big fan of this one in particular. I mean, I've used 3 looping coasters, 2 of which are shuttle loops, one of which is, smaller scale design. Okay, we advertise this one. I'll keep the name Hedgehog too. I like it, and I think it's, small, kind of rolls around like a hedgehog would. All right. So, what else is getting researched here? Those stupid suspended swinging coaster cars. I just don't like them. I don't like building the suspended coasters in this game as it is, let alone, oh yeah, well, we're going to give you airplane cars for a coaster that you're not even going to use. An observation tower right here would be a good investment. Let's see, paths, 85 feet, 75 feet, so they'll have to go up a little bit.
Hey Sam, what did you make? Spike there. That was a heck of a job of it. And in there, film like he did. So I'd love to see it.
All right,
Great.
get this thing open. I'll paint it different colors. Maybe
Sam, how
this
much
one might
not
go
only
with
the
the
place
black.
is filling, but no, they don't score the way they're not close. Late tonight, got a lot of guys in the game, not in the lineup, but how good is that to see them?
Should get about $3, $3.50 a pop. Oh, what happened there? I didn't even, maybe it must have been when I built Hedgehog in. I didn't even realize that happened to the path. Nobody was going on the thing. Alright. I can't find Bolt. Well, there it is, folks. Yeah, this thing's ready to open. How's everything else doing in terms of, like, popularity? Yeah, Bolt's making no money an hour because nobody could get on it there. Look in here, what's going on with this one now? Why aren't people going on that? It must have been rain related, because the queue line is filled and people are still paying to go on it, so... 8:55, August of year 2. Did I advertise? Maybe I'll do one for the park as well. Alright. Just to get as many people in here as possible. I'm probably not going to end up doing a big coaster in the center here. I may go for one of those wooden wild mouse designs or something just as a filler attraction. This is getting a little bit closer, you know, last year of play. I haven't met the goal yet, although I'm close. Not necessarily a place I like to be in, but...
The last one, 9 shot. Guys aren't getting that enough and or getting the result enough. I'm just going to ask
This
you
is
from
going
the
to be
screener
tough to
standpoint,
build
because
because I'm... Oh,
you know how I often talk line combination.
that would work right there, but the problem becomes, you know, like, connecting those entrance and exit pads. I'm short on money, but that's an idea right there if it'll fit. Or, yeah, anywhere I really put it, it's gonna be. Where was that? Right about in here, maybe? Help at all? Oh. Okay. Alright, so I've made it over the 900 yes goal, so it's going to be keeping over that now. It does rain quite a bit more in this scenario compared to, you know, other scenarios, so... And I'm going to build this design once I have the money, it's just... Fit in really well right there. Build it right in there and it would be, you know, less intrusive. I just need a little over $3,000 in game money. I want to get this open as soon as possible so that I can get a boost by the end of year 2 in terms of the guests. Anything over 1,000 guests in this scenario is enough cushion for me to get it out of the way. I do like playing Ivory Towers more, which is the next scenario. A bit less land to use, and there are some problems with the park as it stands, and the terrain can get a bit hard in that one too. But Lightning Peaks is not a park that I enjoy as much. The terrain is just so difficult. It's not difficult to attract guests once you get the hang of it, but it's just so hard to build anything. And building things custom, I mean, I made the mistake with that junior coaster right there. It cost a lot of money for what it is. And I don't really like the way that it came out either. Like, look at that last turn. That's kind of embarrassing in a way. Alright, so I'm getting close here to the money target to build this thing. 3395. Okay, so that's in. Now the challenge is going to be getting all the stuff in, like the queue line and the exit path. Hoping it's not too much of a problem here. Well, actually, the queue line is going to go in quite nicely. It's going to go there. And if I can just delete, bump this down. Oh, no way. That actually worked pretty well. I'll put in like a couple benches right here for those who need it. And start testing this guy out. I'll give it. Castle really doesn't fit in, but I'm thinking just like a kind of a building sort of entrance and exit for this one, and the station will be completely covered up then too. Everything fits in though. That's good. And as soon as it's ready, I'll open it right up. It will not be a big money maker, but it will, bring more people in the park. That's the big thing with this design. Should get a little bit of excitement as well from being scrunched in next to other rides very closely. $332, so $3 only for this, but that's an okay amount of money for what it is. Advertise it if I can. Oh, I still got those advertising active. Let's save this while I'm here. I would really hate to have to restart the scenario if something crashes or, something of that sorts. Not a bad looking park. A lot of repeat rides, a lot of pre-built designs, but other than that, queue line never ended up being too long for the wooden coaster. I think it's high enough capacity. This ride is doing well too with the 2 trains. Bolt's popularity is worn down. This ride, Lumberjack, has 3 trains. It's doing okay though. Shuttle loops very rarely have too long of a line or higher capacity. Short cycle times.
Somebody that's relied on this. Not easy, but it's not like it's not like not give it my best, and I know that.
Not too many people going on Cheesy Mice so far. But the park is over 950 guests now at. Still got a month left in year 2 as well, so doing pretty good. I just got to keep the guest count high enough at this point. Vertical drop coaster. I may actually, if I have the money, I may consider building that in here as the final sort of thing in the middle of the park. After that, though, I can certainly take it off of roller coasters, do thrill rides, general rides, other rides do I have? I have the spiral slide. As I said before, don't really want to do go-karts. Don't really need to do a water ride at this point. If I could fit a spiral slide in somewhere, that could work.
I understand. Aware. Also, I'm well aware of something that all I can do, all what I can, how I play.
Certainly, there's somewhere where this spiral slide can fit in decently.
A 20-year-old.
Yep, just adds to the park, I guess. Colors are going to have to be changed, though. That does not fit in at all. Maybe a green and a brown, white. 5 people on the ride at once. It'll get about $1.50. Let's add something else to this section of the park too, I guess. $1.94. I think it's because it's kind of higher off the ground, but still $1.50 for that. Close to $2 almost. That would have been cool. So vertical drop coaster is available. I have a bit more money now too, but I don't want to, blow it all. Some of these designs are very expensive. Like, what in the world? Is that Fruity Pebbles the ride? Like, this one. What is that? Highest drop by, I guess it is a 200 footer, so. Even these smaller ones here, they're a bit more expensive. Custom one may be the way to go. It's just building it the right way. And building anything custom here is going to be difficult. That's a given. Just because of the scenario. I can build a small vertical drop coaster, though, and you know what? I'm going to go for it. So I'm thinking right there for the station. It's going to be a short design. Or I want to do holding brake, vertical drop. Large. Is that accurate? Oh yeah, that'll be. Except I'm almost running into that coaster. Oh, this could actually be cool if I build it into the terrain. I have to go down with that. Yeah, out of cash, but small vertical drop coaster, Oblivion style. It doesn't dive into the tunnel, but it dives down, goes into the roof, then goes into the tunnel, and turns around, shoots back up and out, and returns to the station. So this is going to shoot back out there. Maybe it'll do a helix over here and then into the brakes and the station. No, it won't let me do that because, well, always. Oh god, I'm coming a lot closer than I originally thought here. See, it doesn't look that far off from that side, but you look from there. Or wait, no, it is farther off. Unless I do it from this way. Um, hmm. I'm just gonna go up, see where I'm at. No. Hmm. I didn't think that this coaster would give me this many problems near the end. Struggling to even build the brakes. Alright, that'll work though. And cheap me is gonna fit an on-ride photo section in right before the break. Oh, wait a minute. That's not gonna line up, is it? What? 95 feet. What was I thinking? I saw the fives and I thought I was all lined up, but I guess not. So I'm gonna... Let's see. I do an S-bend. See, but if I can do an S-bend, theoretically I should be able to... S-bend, S-bend. Or... if I can do that, that means I should be able to do that instead, and that'll look better. And an on-ride photo right before the brakes. Because I can. Okay, so this one can start testing while I'm building the pathway for it. Something happened. Okay, I didn't drop any frames right there, so that should be okay. Alright. Not the prettiest coaster either for this one. I don't even need to go down one. Huh. Wow, something worked out for a change there. Alright, so
That's right. Alright, listen.
see how this works out here. Well, that's cool. It dives down under the supports for that. Oh, that's going to be a huge snap right there. I may need to trim it, depending. This snap right here, it does sound very sharp. Let's turbo speed this. Oh. What are the stats going to be? I mean, it works. It works. Very high stats, however. I'm going to open it as is, and my reasoning for that is because although it has very high intensity and it's, you know, has stuff in the red, the excitement value shouldn't be too hurt. And it's a 650 coaster. The name, I'm going to call it, I don't know what to call it. Running out of creativity and names here. Maybe, Thunder. I already named the shuttle coaster Thunderbolt, so I could name this one like Thunderstruck. Colors. No, that one's. Don't know why I ever test out that color, because I think that peach, salmon pink in this game is ugly. Oh, that's bad too. Maybe the black and the green. Not too many people saying it's too intense for them, so that's good. Advertise the ride. And the park. Over 1,000. I'll max it out. Why not? Pay off 1,000 of this loan as well. I think I'm gonna start fast forwarding here, so save it, speed it. So I'm hovering at about, let's see, 1,100 guests. See what I got in the research pipeline. No thrill rides, haunted house, maze. Nothing exciting really. Guess I'll hyperspeed it again. Make sure that this guest total doesn't drop off. I'm right over 1,000. I need 900. What other rides can I advertise? Maybe the slide. Yeah, some more of the loan. Let's see now. Swinging inverter ship I will install once it's available. I won't pass this scenario with as much of a cushion as I usually have. Right now I'm just 150 over that total, but I'm just about done with lightning peaks in my mind. Just like mentally, I'm done with this particular scenario. That's what I'm trying to say. And it won't even let me here. I'm going to say that the supports are too high for this one. I mean, theoretically, this ride, if there's any blocks of 3 space up here, which there isn't gonna be, I could have put it up there. Oh, and there's benches all... What is going on up here? Don't know why. Don't know if just no handymen are making their way down this way. But probably should hire a couple of security guards as well. More handymen. Yeah, it's just a very messy looking, disorganized sort of park. That is for sure. Like anywhere you try to build anything, it turns into a big fiasco. Like this. I can't just build the path down one, and I'm probably, yep, I'm gonna hit a hill. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say screw it. And I'm just gonna build that downwards into there. Oh, I need to go one more. See, that's what I mean with this scenario. You think you're doing something right, and you just don't win. Now the colors that the preset colors that I liked for this ride that were there are gone because I switched it. I think it was like a red, a white, or was it a red and a brown? And yeah, something like that. Should get about $4 a pop. Okay. Yep. How's advertising? Park rating is going back up though with the various improvements I've made here. And I figured that would be up. So, park, max it out, and hyperspeed it. So right around 1,100 guests with what I have in the park. Yeah, that total is going down again. Park. Doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, I will have passed the scenario. Either way. Alright, and still beat it with, say, 150 guests over what I needed, so not great, not terrible per se. I'll do a bit of a recap now before I end the stream. So Lightning Peaks, you're originally given 2 chairlifts. One that this is one of the original ones, and the second one, the station, was sort of in this area, and it goes out to this leg of the park. I got rid of this one. Instead, I opted later on in the scenario to bridge these two midways by this long boardwalk over here. Other than that, I started with, again, as usual, carousel, merry-go-round, or not carousel, merry-go-round, scrambler, merry-go-round. Added some other supplemental rides, the shuttle loop right here, and I'm not going to let it rain while I'm doing, I've dealt with enough scenario. Not going to let it rain while I'm doing my recap so I can't see anything. Yeah, supplemental rides, shuttle loop, stalls, just a couple of information kiosks, restrooms around the park. Pirate ship right there when it became available. I spent way too much money on building this very long custom junior roller coaster. It really dives deep down into the ground, but it ends up having 2 extra lift hill segments to be able to make it back to the station. Really poor design. It spent a lot of money, but it is popular with the people. Things such as the 3D cinema went in, the Ferris wheel. I built another shuttle style coaster, no loop in this one, but it's just a twisty kind of hilly, back and forth, does 4 laps type of coaster. Then I built rides such as Launch Freefall, a little bit later the Observation Tower. This wooden coaster over here was a pre-built design, but it fit very well. I was able to... It's going to rain again while I'm trying to do my recap. Where is it? Sunny. That's the end of that. Okay, this wooden coaster went over here. I had to get a bit creative with the queue line and the exit paths, but they tunneled under fairly okay. Other than that, I put in this pre-built wooden wild mouse, the cheesy mice, the very small design to fit in this back area, a spiral slide, and the last thing that I ended up building was this custom vertical drop coaster. It has a bit too high of stats, but it ended up working out. People are riding it. Oh, and I got a top spin at the end here, but 900 guest requirement. Park rating is nearly maxed out. Yeah, it's 5 points away from maxed out. I had 150 guests over what I needed, so not as much of a cushion as I usually go for, but certainly okay. As for rides, the top profiting rides in the park, Thunderstruck, which is the dive coaster, is very popular. It charges a lot, and it has an on-ride photo. The wooden coaster, I believe, also has an on-ride photo, I want to say. Yeah, so 2 high profiting ones, followed by Hedgehog, a pre-built steel coaster there. Lumberjack, which is the custom-built junior coaster that goes far underground. And Tree Topper is the... Lightning Rod is the shuttle loop, Tree Topper is the launch freefall, and Bolt is the shuttle coaster over here. Followed by, again, usual distribution, Gentle Rides, Thrill Flat Rides. The Observation Tower is doing very well, too. And in terms of guest favorite, Thunderstruck, Ridge Runner, which is the wooden coaster, very similar distribution here. Hedgehog, Lumberjack, Lightning Rod, and then, some of the gentle rides and thrill flat rides are lumped in there as well. So very usual, very expected. All of the food stalls, to my knowledge, yeah, the restrooms I did charge 10 cents for, but the information kiosks are profiting. Same with the 2 food stalls that I have. And I was also able to pay off my loan, and I heavily advertised the park. So, not too hard. You just have to have the right strategy going into it. Pre-built rides certainly do not hurt here if they will fit and they're cost effective. It'll save a lot of time and money when it comes to building. This custom-built ride ended up taking up way too much money. This one was fine, but it is just a shuttle coaster. And the vertical drop coaster wasn't bad either, considering it doesn't take up much space and it is the most popular ride in the park. So, not a tough scenario. It's just very, you can probably tell as the stream went on, I got a little bit more agitated as well. And that's only because I don't really like this scenario, dealing with the terrain and such things, and a lot of weird paths and all that good stuff. Something even as simple as the Skyway, with the amount of vehicles it has a very long queue time, and it makes guests pretty upset as well. But I am going to cut it short there. I know I just said this a bunch of times, but thank you for watching. If you have, this one will be up on YouTube within the next day or so. I got to catch up with the previous stream from earlier too. I just got to try to fix it from when the network connection got cut. But have a great rest of your day. I'll probably be back tomorrow or within the next day or so for the next stream. That one I think is Ivory Towers. I could check, but I'm pretty sure it's Ivory Towers, followed by Rainbow Valley and Thunder Rock. So the original RCT scenarios are winding down here, but then we will go into Loopy Landscapes, Corkscrew Follies. Corkscrew Follies comes first. Corkscrew Follies, Loopy Landscapes, and all of the RCT2 scenarios and expansion packs. So thank you again. I will see you very soon, probably tomorrow, if not the very next day. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching.